Coming up on DC News Now at 4, police ID the man they say stole an ambulance after escaping a Virginia hospital, where that investigation stands at this hour. Then, hundreds coming together today to honor the firefighter who died in Friday's home explosion in Sterling.
Temperatures are going to be on the rise for the rest of the week. We'll let you know how much warmer we will be by the end of this week.
Plus, Capital One says they're buying Discover. But what would the major merger mean for your money? An expert is helping you stretch your dollar. And in Tech Talk, how a Virginia woman is helping amputees get through the day.
Why hasn't this been done yet?
One step at a time.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thanks for joining us on this Tuesday for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Annalise. We'll get to those top stories in just a few minutes, but first we want to take a look outside on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon there. This is a live look at the National Cathedral. Looking good out there, Mark and Damon.
Annalise, it just seems like it's a continuation of Monday. But
yeah.
I don't know, Damon, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I mean, hey, I like it. I like it. You guys said it. Sunshine's there.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. So we definitely are enjoying that as we can here, folks, so far. This Tuesday, it's been another sunny one, and we are trying to soak that up as long as we possibly can. Now, clear skies, the other thing we are sort of repeating each and every morning, cold temperatures. We started this morning in the 30s in some of our warmer locations, if you will. D.C., Annapolis there, 31, 32. But we certainly had a wide swath of 20s and even upper teens, like in Manassas, started out 17 degrees once again. So out of that cold start, well, the sunshine warmed us up nicely as we are sitting right at 50 degrees at this hour in D.C., Frederick as well. Once again to the south, Culpeper, lower 50s there. And then we have some mid to upper 40s mixed in from the I-81 corridor down into portions of southern Maryland. So comfortable enough, very seasonal for the middle of February, and anytime, again, we have this clear of a satellite picture, that is always a bonus and will help it continue to make it feel even more comfortable as we move along here. So check it out, folks, moving forward on your Tuesday evening here. Once that sun goes down, temperatures will quickly drop from the 40s back down into the 30s as we will see another chilly overnight ahead of us. But because we have a light southerly wind and a few more clouds in the mix, we aren't going to be quite as chilly moving along into the overnight hours, as we're going to see a warming trend still continuing to go here for the next few days. Now, the question is, when do we hit the peak of this warming trend, and will there be some rain in the forecast as we see those highest temperatures? We'll have a full forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, it has been 4 days now since the deadly home explosion in Sterling that killed a firefighter and left a dozen people in the hospital.
And today, the community paused to pay their respects. Our Northern Virginia reporter, Haley Milon, has the latest on the procession for fallen firefighter Trevor Brown.
She's joining us now live from Sterling. Good afternoon, Haley.
This is where it all happened, that blast that killed 45-year-old firefighter Trevor Brown here in Sterling, the Sugarland Run community. I'm going to step out of the way so you can take a look at the home site. A home once stood there. Now crews are working through the rubble, digging through and proceeding with their investigation. That explosion caused by an underground propane tank. Now, some good news to report to you tonight. I just talked to the department spokeswoman who tells me another firefighter was just released from the hospital today. Of the 11 rushed to the hospital for treatment, that leaves just 2 firefighters in the hospital. Those 2 are in the burn unit at Washington Hospital Center and expected to be okay, though the spokeswoman does say they have a long road to recovery. And we've learned that the funeral for Brown will be held on March 4th at Cornerstone Chapel in Leesburg. Today, frontline workers from across Northern Virginia joined to honor Brown in an emotional procession for his remains today. Also injured in the blast, 2 women living in the home. I spoke to Lauren Opowski, a friend of one of those women who is helping Pia Apollino, who lost everything. Lauren says Pia is still wrapping her head around what happened and is filled with grief over the firefighter casualties.
She is talking a little bit more, but she still is trying to process the loss of the firefighter and the loss of the animals and the loss of the home and all of her belongings. And she's really trying to keep her mental health in a safe place and just process everything that's occurred since Friday.
I'm told Pia is staying with friends for now as she figures out what's next. Just one of so many lives changed forever by what happened here in Sterling on Friday night. In Loudoun County, I'm Haley Milon, DC News Now.
Haley, thank you. Well, the Georgia man who admitted to police that he strangled his Prince George's County girlfriend is being held without bond tonight. Police say 43-year-old Carl Kearney Jr. walked into a police station in Clinton and told officers that he strangled his girlfriend inside her Acquakeek home on February 17th. The victim, 38-year-old Patrina Bess, died at the scene. Her family releasing a statement to DC News Now tonight saying in part, she was a wonderful person in every regard. She was the light of our lives, and we will miss her dearly for the rest of our days. Well, also developing now in the district, Ward 1 Councilmember Brianne Nadeau is responding to a formal recall effort that was filed against her earlier today. Nadeau responded to that recall effort within hours. She says, quote, I will always work with and for my constituents to help Ward 1 and the district to continue to grow and thrive. A recall does not change that. We'll have more on this effort and Nadeau's response coming up on air and online later tonight.
And new this afternoon, a wrongful death lawsuit submitted in D.C. this week is seeking $25 million from a Southwest apartment complex where a man was shot and killed in March of last year. The suit alleges management at the Gardens apartment complex on Galveston Street in Southwest didn't do enough to prevent the deadly shooting of 21-year-old Christian Stewart. Attorneys in the case say that Stewart tried to break up a fight among a group of kids at the complex when at least 6 shots rang out. Attorney Keith Waters says it all happened as a security guard stood watch and didn't do anything, and in front of security cameras that managers knew were not working.
Young children walking through and congregating and fighting on the property, and it's like Lord of the Flies. There's nobody in charge here, and you can't be a property owner without some sort of obligation to keep your tenants and visitors to the property safe.
Waters hopes the suit gets attention of both the property owners and D.C. police. No arrests have been made in this case. Right now, the search is on for the man police say stole an ambulance from a Fairfax County hospital last night.
We know police have been looking for him since he crashed into that highway ramp yesterday.
And our Randy Bass has been following this story since the crash. And Randy, what more do we know right now?
Yeah, Mark, Annalisa, right now, Fairfax County Police are identifying that man as 32-year-old Ricky Lowe of Manassas. They tell us just last night he took off here from Inova Fairfax Hospital in an ambulance right before 9 o'clock. Here's a picture of the 32-year-old suspect behind the wheel right after he took off. Police found the ambulance before 9:30 last night, but couldn't find Lowe. Officers in Prince William County say they thought they may have spotted him around 11:30 there. They used a helicopter to try and track him down, but again, they couldn't find him. Earlier yesterday, EMS crews took Lowe and 4 others to the hospital after a serious crash involving a stolen car near I-66 and Route 50 near the Fair Oaks Mall. During the investigation, officers found drugs along with 2 guns, including a large rifle, inside the car. Police say if you spot Lowe, don't approach him, call 911 right away. Live in Fairfax, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Randy, thank you. Maryland state lawmakers are pushing for enhanced protections for people living in Montgomery County high-rise apartments. The proposal comes a year after 25-year-old Melanie Nicole Diaz died in a fire at the Arrive Silver Spring high-rise apartment complex. State law and county regulations currently don't require sprinklers to be in every unit of a high-rise built prior to 1974. A Maryland state delegate introduced the Melanie Nicole Diaz Fire Safety Act last month and introduced it this afternoon. If passed, the bill would require smoke detectors in all public corridors, also require fire safety instruction for new and existing residents, and require signage indicating the building does not have sprinklers. The bill would also establish a task force to implement a plan to install fire alarms and sprinkler systems in older buildings.
Well, today is Metro's 57th birthday. According to Metro, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed off on the creation of the agency sometime in the mid-1960s. Then on this date in 1967, WMATA was officially created. Metro posting this photo on the anniversary to celebrate, showing President Johnson getting a sneak peek of the first Metro train car prototype back then.
Happy birthday, WMATA.
Yeah, well, long time coming with their journey here.